Thanks and welcome to the 6:15. I'm Kejan Henry at Tembe. We begin with our headlines. Shock and sorrow hang over Mabanda in Douala after 3 people, including 2 young siblings, died in what is suspected to be a case of food poisoning. And what was meant to be a celebration of grassroots trade turned into chaos in Yaoundé Free. The Bayam-Sellam fair was brought to a halt after council agents destroyed stalls, citing concerns over land use and competition with the council. Top stories. Have died, including, or 3 persons have died, including a set of siblings from one family after what was a suspected food poisoning. It occurred in Mambanda village of the Douala 4 subdivision. And of course, this has raised much concerns about food safety in urban settings. Cynthia Latte was there and now report.
Fatima holds her last surviving son. He narrowly escaped death hours after eating rice and stew prepared in the family home. Her 2 sons, aged 9 and 7, died shortly after eating the same meal. Overcome with emotion, she recounts what happened. I asked what was happening, but got no response. I took the child and noticed he was almost gone. My hands were trembling. With the help of others, we took him to the hospital. While they took care of him, I was later called and told my other child was also not well. I then understood that I and my children had been poisoned. At a family home in Mabanda, Block 16, where everything began around 6 p.m. on Monday, grief and shock are visible. 16-year-old Amandine, Fatima's firstborn, who is also recovering, still struggles to understand how the family meal she helped prepare turned deadly. I returned from school on Monday around 5 p.m. My mother was in her shop and asked me to take rice from another shop as usual, take it home, move the stew from the fridge and prepare the meal. When she returned, the rice were not yet ready. Later it was done. I served her and we ate together. My little brothers were in my hands. When they returned, we served them. They ate. Our neighbor also came and we served him. We all ate the food. I also had stomach pain, but I was treated. Inside the kitchen, the remaining food is still untouched on the stove, as are the plates used.
News reached us that the first boy they took to the hospital, he is dead. We were shocked. We never knew what was going on.
They ate one food, rice, that they prepared it a day before that day.
Many residents suspect food poisoning as the cause of the 3 deaths. The incident drew a large crowd. Amateur footages shows the family in tears as the bodies of the children were transported and collected samples of the food. I want justice to be done, no matter what. I want the person who poisoned my children and me for no reason to be found. An investigation has been opened to determine the exact cause of the death. The 3 deceased have been taken to Bamun in the West region for burial.
After a multiple-story building went into flames in Bonamuta, the neighborhood that is in the Douala 5 subdivision, the fire broke out early today on the first floor, trapping the inhabitants and occupants of the building. And as thick smoke filled the air, those trapped shouted for help, while some residents and workers managed to find their way downstairs. Others remained stuck inside the building, and according to eyewitnesses, firefighters arrived later, eventually succeeding in rescuing those trapped in the building. The 2 men, or the injured man, who is now receiving medical attention, reportedly attempted to rescue those inside. He successfully saved 1 person before sustaining burns while trying to respond to the cries of another victim. Now let's get the reaction of one of the occupants of the building who managed to escape during the fire outbreak.
This morning around 9 a.m., I was upstairs at the 4th floor, so we just got a call that there was fire downstairs. We struggled to
to step down. There was no longer electricity. The stairs were completely dark. So I had to use but my phone to come downstairs. Immediately I stepped out of the building. The fire kept increasing. So from there, the fire, it was not really easy. Some people were even blocked up there at the 5th floor. So it's the firefighters that came and rescued them. No, it's not affecting because we were the first people to step out of the building. Yes, one guy got burned and he came and he walked into the building. He wanted to rescue people. So he got burned and he was rushed to the hospital.
One of the occupants of the buildings responded to questions from our reporter Cynthia Lati. Meanwhile, it's shock and outrage that continues to rip through the city of Yaoundé following the rape and killing of a 13-year-old girl. Police say the suspect who actually went into hiding has finally been nabbed. And of course, this has brought actually relief to the aggrieved and angered population. High-Cynthia reports from Yaoundé.
Mon enfant n'avait que 13 ans, mon enfant n'avait que 13 ans. Ma petite fille n'avait que 13 ans. Qu'est-ce qu'elle a fait? Et tu m'appelles? Tu oses m'appeler?
The pain is deep, cries are unstoppable. The situation is unthinkable and unbelievable, but wonders, they say, shall never end. A love story that turns sour, leading to the heartless killing of 13 years old Ngedem Inzira. We are in a Zazu village, Yaoundé 4 subdivision, for a remake of the sad incident of Saturday, December 6th, 2025. This is how the suspect takes the life of the little girl following a quarrel with her aunt, the girlfriend, as they returned from an outing at 11 a.m. through the night and morning hours.
The girl mentioned that she was tired of his bad attitude. The relation has to be end. And he was behaving as a jealous man. That is why when they reached the house, she told the man to leave. She even called a witness to tell him that she don't no more want that relation.
And in what appears like a movie, he rushes to his family house, about 300 meters away, collects an electric cable, goes back to meet the innocent girl watching TV while the girlfriend is asleep, leads her to these toilets behind an abandoned church, rapes and strangles the victim to death, tying her neck with a cable. Courageous enough, with no sign of remorse, the supposed assassin gets back to the house, picks up the girlfriend's telephone, and disappeared to the Mvan neighborhood, where he launches a call in the lady's family WhatsApp forum to announce the death of the girl. It is only then that the mother of the Form 3 girl, who had traveled to the west, and other members of the family got the shocking information. Alerting the police, the elements of the Yaoundé Central Police Station No. 4 launch an intensive search for the culprits, fishing him out at this corner of the house after 48 hours. The young man blames his barbaric action on anger.
C'est la colère qui m'a poussé à le faire. Le jour où elle m'a dit qu'elle et moi c'était terminé, ça m'a paralysé une seule fois.
The remake of the ugly scene this December 16 unfolds in the presence of the State's Council of the Mfundi Court of First Instance, Njinji Luke, as the accused remains in detention to face the law.
Very certainly, thanks very much. High-Cynthia, we stay in Yaoundé, where what was actually meant to be a celebration of grassroots trade actually turned into chaos. The famous Bayam-Sellam trade fair was brought to a sudden halt after council agents destroyed stalls with citing concerns over competition with the council. Details with Bonaventure.
Nous voici qu'on a cassé sans direction. On ne nous donne pas la direction où aller. On nous met dans un site où il n'y a rien. On est dans nos soleils.
Voices of protest arise. Nearby tents have been dismantled. Cocoa yams, plantains and other goods packed away. On the phone, the news spreads. The fair of the Association of Bayam-Sellams of Cameroon and the diaspora has been prohibited.
Nous avons construit un très grand marché derrière nous. C'est beaucoup d'argent. Et c'est anormal qu'un particulier, un individu lambda vienne faire un marché en face et faire concurrence à notre marché qui ne demande qu'à avoir des commerçantes à l'intérieur.
Because from 10 regions of Cameroon to take part in the event, now in its 4th edition, are disgruntled.
Nous sommes là depuis en train de vendre sans problème. Je me lève ce matin à 4 heures moins. On me dit que la mairie de Yaoundé 3 est entrée ici pour casser la foire, enlever tous les effigies du président. Et je vais vous dire ici que monsieur les journalistes, nous avons l'accord du président de la République.
From the Yaoundé 3 Council's perspective, the fair described as an obstruction of public roads had already been the subject of several formal notices.
Cette fois qu'elle a organisé, elle n'a pas eu le quitus du sous-préfet, de monsieur le sous-préfet. Donc vous ne pouvez pas venir dans un territoire faire comme vous semble. Il est donc question que les gens apprennent à respecter la loi. Monsieur le sous-préfet aurait dû donner une autorisation pour que cette foire commence. Mais elle outrepasse ses compétences et vient exiger à ce qu'une fois se déroule dans notre espace commercial.
On December 16, the council agents decided to put an end to an activity considered to have extended beyond the tolerated time and space limits.
Ici, là, nous avons le titre foncier, cela veut dire le morcellement de Maxi pour être là où nous sommes là.
The blow is a hard one for the exhibitors, who are counting their losses and conveniences, expressing incomprehension in the face of a decision that upsets their expectations and their investments.
Thanks, Ati. Bonaventure and small and medium-sized enterprises remain the backbone of Cameroon's economy. Yet finances continue to lag behind, and this has pushed National Forum stakeholders to examine why they receive just a portion of the credit. Beatrice Ngamo reports.
In many economic development and financing programs, small and medium-sized enterprises are the primary target because they make up a large share of businesses and employ a significant portion of the workforce. Meeting up to this is a big challenge due to financing. The National Forum, under the theme Rethinking SME Financing, Innovative Solution to Drive Industrialization and Competitiveness of Cameroon's Economy, occasion to change this narrative.
We need to ensure that SMEs can easily access finance. They can overcome the various hurdles that they are facing today. When we look at the statistics, the volume of credits in our country, SMEs account for only 20%. And this is small when we look at the magnitude of their expectations and the various business plans that are actually articulated by entrepreneurs in our country.
Grouping people from the banks, technical assistance providers, associations of SMEs, promoters, civil society, experts and government officials to strategize on lasting solutions.
Look at the various options that in our ecosystem we can generate to ensure that we address from the systemic point of view these various challenges. And this is in line also with the Global Forum on the SME financing.
Fruit of the last Johannesburg World Bank Forum, which they are implementing at the national level, exploring the available options in order to set up monitoring mechanisms to look at the practical application of these solutions for the betterment of SMEs in Cameroon.
Thanks very much, Beatrice Ngamo. And rising living cost and financial uncertainty or economic uncertainty are taking a toll on workers across Cameroon. A forum is now shining a spotlight to make sure the financial stress drops as the impact has an impact on productivity and workplace well-being. Ambo Gladys Dibank takes a look at this situation.
Across Cameroon, SMEs are operating in a challenging environment marked by economic instability, inflation, and intensifying demands on productivity. For many employees, these pressures translate into chronic debt, heavy family responsibilities, limited savings, and low levels of financial literacy.
If you have all what you need, of course, food, shelter, medicine, you can cure yourself, you have a clothes, you can dress well, these are basic things. Of course, education. Now the rest is luxury. So cut our coat according to our size. We should not try to embrace everything because of peer pressure. So it is self-discipline.
It is against this backdrop that stakeholders met in Douala for a forum on financial well-being and workplace performance. The initiative seeks to broaden the conversation beyond salaries, focusing instead on how workers understand, manage, and plan their financial lives.
If a company doesn't have it, we thought that it can be interesting to gather managing directors, employees, and also doctors in order to speak about the relation between money and the motivation at work.
If you're financially stressed, you cannot concentrate at work. Okay, you make a lot of mistakes. You will always be looking for ways to have money, so it can lead to fraud and many other things. It can also affect you mentally.
They argue that access to appropriate financial tools and education could help employees regain stability and reduce stress.
For a financial education platform where company can we can coach employees in how they have to manage their budget. We also have a digital platform where HR director can automatize a lot of things, digitize a lot of things in order to respond very fastly to the needs of their salaries.
Experts at the forum say addressing the issue also requires stronger leadership awareness and closer collaboration between companies, financial institutions, and fintechs.
Thanks very much. Ambu Gladys Tibang and Cynthia Lassie takes a look at urban disorder that is on the surge in Cameroon's economic capital. She went across as Christmas is being prepared, but then the disorder is too much.
Protecting her little schoolgirl from passing vehicles, Priska struggles to weave her way through this narrow tarred route linking Bali and Bunadibong in the Douala 1 subdivision.
Walking on the road with kids, maybe if you are not careful, accidents not by a car, like may just slip off because it's too compacted. You see, there's no space at all.
With cars parked on both sides, the two-way road has been further reduced, making movement difficult for pedestrians. Trash that nearly divides the route intensifies the strain.
The rubbish have occupied all the space, so it's not easy. It really do occupy space because movement is not fluid, it's not easy. There are schools around, there is one school up there, there is another one down there. When it's time for the kids to come out from classes, you cannot pass here. Even movement on foot is not fluid.
If I have to go, coming behind, you wait. See, not to be hit by a car.
Automobilists say they find it hard to maneuver here. While some vehicles standing on the road are in a bad state, others belong to motorists seeking services from nearby shops.
In the hour of 12 to 4 o'clock. After that, you have no problem because people come to go and eat. So there's no parking on this way. There's no parking. Sometimes I have to go in front of the building there to park when there's no place.
And it means that it's difficult to try. If you are not strong, you cannot succeed to turn.
While awaiting solutions to be provided to do away with this urban disorder here, road users continue to move with fear of accidents.
And since our last Matthew Fanga will be just right ahead with the brief, the actuality. Goodbye. Canal International.
Douala.